Crime Curious is a true crime podcast that takes an in-depth look into real cases through the lens of a trained investigator and former prosecutor turned judge.
If you are sensitive to expletives, anatomical descriptions, and accurate descriptions of crime scenes, this podcast may not be suitable for you.
Welcome to Crime Curious. I'm Charnel.
And I'm Brainbeth Jason.
Hey, Brainbeth Jason.
Hi.
Megan is on vacation this week with her darling husband and some friends, I think. I can't keep up. Sometimes it's family, sometimes it's friends. All we know is that it's somewhere warmer and with no work involved. And she's been sending us pictures and...
Warm enough they're on a beach.
We're jealous. Yeah, just
Not
to say the least.
Negative degrees like it is here.
Full disclosure, so we podcast in a basement, and it's cold in Michigan right now, and it's very cold in a basement. Jason and I are snuggling with, well, we're not snuggling. We're snuggling our blankets, but if it gets cold enough, I'm not opposed to actual snuggling.
This one's bounty fresh.
I am, the Patreons that can see us can see that I am dressed a little differently today. Do you remember last episode I was talking about how overalls are coming back and I have a pair? I wanted to show everybody the ensemble, okay? I have my cutesy overalls. I'm kind of like trying to show the camera.
Although the tan long sleeve shirt, in the wrong lighting, you look naked.
Oh, I never even considered that. Do you know I picked the tan one to match the hat?
It does.
Yeah, it completes the ensemble, and I am throwing a shout out to this hat is from a local brewery, Big Pines Brewing Company.
On our face.
Yeah, and so this is the outfit. Yeah. We have to shake the gree. You're right. We almost forgot, and we know better than that.
I was rubbing the sack, waiting for you to say something.
Yeah. Sorry, you.
But no, from a distance, someone would be like, "Why is that hoochie not wearing a shirt?"
Oh well, it's not going to stop me from wearing it. It really isn't. If Matt making fun of me for wearing overalls isn't going to stop me, let me tell you. Somebody hollering out, "Hey, Hoochie Mama, why aren't you wearing a shirt?" Yeah, I'd be like, "Oh, I am, and a hat." Yeah. But also, I'm secretly really happy that I'm wearing a hat today because it's freaking cold, and this will help keep the heat in. So, yeah, that was the explanation of why Farmer Nell is here today. Are you ready for this case, Jay?
Yeah. Born ready.
It's some longtime listeners are going to recognize this one. It was one of our early on cases that we covered in 2021, and it is now 2026. Next week, when Megan comes back, let me look at a calendar right here because next week is our 5-year anniversary.
Already?
It is already. So, we've been explaining to you guys we're sprinkling in some redos of cases, and we'll be deleting those older episodes as we're redoing them. So, I thought today is a perfect day to redo this one. You're gonna love our victim's name. It's gonna sound very, very familiar to you, and it's just a really good case. Michigan case, as a matter of fact, to keep bringing back into the public awareness. And unlike 5 years ago when we covered it, there's a resolution to it now. So another great reason to cover it. So for today's case, we're not going very far away or very far back. Many of our Michigan listeners may recall this, might have even followed the story like we did. This case takes place in Shiawassee County, Michigan, and it happened in December of 2019. Today let me try that again. Today we'll be talking about the tragic murder of Kevin Bacon, who is from Michigan, not Pennsylvania, like the actor. Mm-hmm. So just same name, different individual, don't worry. Kevin was born November 28th, 1994 in Lansing, Michigan to Carl, and that's Carl with a K, not with a C, and Pamela Bacon. According to an interview completed with MLive, his parents wanted him to have the same initials as his dad, Carl, but not the same name. And at the time in 94, Kevin Bacon was obviously popular, but not as much of a household name as he is today. There wasn't the game of making bacon yet or anything like that. So I don't think that they anticipated that it would be as big of a deal as it is now when people are like, Kevin Bacon, you named your kid Kevin Bacon? So his parents said that they did get initially teased about giving their son the same name as the actor, but they just took it in stride. Kevin was a talented hairstylist, something that his mom said he had a passion for at a very early age. He was about 12 when he started styling his mom and other family members' hair, and even attempting French braids earlier than age 12, which is difficult. Yeah, it is. Have you ever tried one with Lily?
I have.
A French braid?
Failed miserably.
It is not easy. I can do it much better on myself than I can someone else, which is very strange, but it just looks, my brain is used to doing it from this angle instead of doing it on somebody else. That's neither here nor there. Let's get back to Mr. Kevin here. He graduated from Swartz Creek High School and Sharp's Hair Academy in Grand Blanc. He was also attending the University of Michigan at the Flint, Michigan campus, majoring in psychology. According to MLive, he was hired as a peer educator at the University of Michigan Flint Center for Gender and Sexuality. Peer educators perform educational programming for sexual violence prevention. He had made many close friendships in this program, and one of those friends, Sarah Divot, was actually the one to hire Kevin into the peer educator program, and reflected to MLive that he was always coming up with fun hairstyles for her, and often when he did her hair, they would talk and gossip about their own lives so long that Kevin would forget what he was doing with her hair, and it would make her appointment way longer than it typically would take. So it just sounds like they just had a beautiful friendship, that he was the type of hairstylist that really got to know his clients and really enjoyed talking to them and being a part of their life, not just their hair doctor, as I like to call it, which, by the way, I went to my hair doctor this past Saturday. We accidentally went darker than we meant to, so I'm going to fix that.
I wasn't going to say anything.
It's too dark. It's an accident. Another reason for the hat, but we'll get it ship shape.
This might come as a surprise to everybody, but I've never had a hairstylist.
Yes, I know. You've never went to the hair doctor.
No.
It shows. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's the nice thing about being a man sometimes.
Get what you pay for.
No, it sounds like Kevin is the type that, something that I enjoy about my hair doctor is that she takes a genuine interest in my life. She's not just there to collect money. Sometimes my appointments do go longer than they probably would with someone else who wasn't interacting with me, but I'll take it. I'll take that real personal connection and interaction any day over getting me in and out and rushing my appointment. So it sounds like Kevin was very much like that too. MLive also reported that one of his friends, Cassie Perez, recalled that, quote, "He was one of the first people I told so many secrets to. He was just one of those people I trusted so much, and he gave me advice when I really needed it without judgment. He made me smile, even when he didn't know it. He checked on me when few others did, and he gave me the best of himself every day, and I'll forever be grateful for that," end quote. I think that when somebody tells you, you are one of the first people that I tell my secrets to, that is such a high compliment, because in a world where information is everywhere and secrets are not kept, I think that having that sacred ability to keep other people's secrets and have them trust you with that speaks to what a beautiful soul he is here. I'm not saying was, because his soul is still here, okay? Doesn't get destroyed. So it sounds like he's very genuine, very caring, and he touched everyone's life in a positive way that he encountered. NBC News reported that on December 24th, 2009, Kevin, who was 25 at the time, told his roommate and best friend, Michelle Myers, that he was going out that night around 5 p.m. with a man that he met on the popular app called Grindr. The Grindr app is the most popular geosocial app for gay, bisexual, and transgender community, which means it suggests matches based on your location. That's why it's a geosocial app, all right? So he says goodbye to Michelle, and on December 24th, 2019, so the day before Christmas, he leaves for his date with 50-year-old Mark Latunski at 6:12 p.m. I know, Latunski. We can't help what our last name is, I suppose. But Michelle received a text from Kevin saying that he was having fun and he probably wouldn't be home that night. That would be the very last time that any of his loved ones would hear from him. His parents began to worry when he did not show up for breakfast on Christmas morning, December 25th, so they immediately file a missing persons report, and rightfully so. I mean, I actually think that it's a bit of a blessing that this was the day before, or that this was on Christmas Eve, because he was supposed to be somewhere, right? So they took notice faster that he was missing.
Who goes out on a date on Christmas Eve?
I know, on a first date. Well, I mean,
to each their own.
Yeah.
It just seems a little.
And I think sometimes the Grindr app is just used for not necessarily creating a relationship or anything like that. So
Very, very PC way of putting that.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, that's what I do. So now at this time, they know that he went out with a guy the night before, that he had met on Grindr. So they attempt to get more information from the app. However, according to the MLive article, Carl Bacon said that the app didn't give them any information and were actually quite uncooperative. There is no regulation of the law on how they operate and how accountable they are to people's lives and activities that are using the app. So basically, they're trying to get in touch with the app to locate exactly where their son had went with Mark Latunski, since it is a geosocial app and tracks locations. His family and friends are on a frantic search. They even created a Facebook group to try to help locate him. Then Kevin Bacon's car was later found in Swartz Creek area parking lot. There was a bag of clothes, his phone, wallet. They were all in the car. The only thing missing were the car keys. His family was able to use his phone at that point in time and figure out who he had been communicating with on the Grindr app. On December 28th, 2019, so 4 entire days after Kevin was last seen, police arrived at Mark Latunski's home. Mark told the police that his name was actually Willie Olikos Vilakas.
That seems like that would be his real name.
I'm
Who
sure
would make that up?
Wilk. Did I say Willie?
You did.
It's actually Wilk. I don't even know where I came up with that, other than I think that I want to nickname this idiot something stupid in my head.
Wilk?
And it's Wilk.
So he said his
Wilk.
first name was Wilk.
He says, I am not Mark Latunski. I am Wilk Olikos Vilkas.
Probably Greek.
I don't know. It's insane is what it is.
So-
it is the language of insanity.
So either there is no Mark
oh, there's a Mark.
or someone.
There's no Wilk.
Oh, see, that just sounds too weird to not be real.
Nope. It's just not
Who-
him.
Who would claim to be that who is not?
I told you it's the language of insanity. He does allow him to search the home, though. So they do, because they had his permission. Good old Wilk Vilkas gave him permission. And in the basement, in what was described as a secret room, with a trap door in the floor. So for those that don't know how basements work, there's a basement, which is already underground. And then apparently there is a room where it has another basement. It is like Russian nesting dolls for basements in this place.
I would say, in all fairness, basements in old Michigan houses are like
Oh, creepy, terrifying.
creepy as shit.
Something that, I mean,
Like-
honestly, that would have been great. And maybe it was part of the Underground Railroad at one point in time. I'm not sure. It's fantastic,
It's very
but
possible.
creepy. And unfortunately,
Or for other nefarious
well,
purposes.
in the way that this man decided to use it, Wilk Vilkas, If that is your real name. It's not. It's not.
Willie.
That's just what I would call him. Because he called himself Wilk Olikos Vilkas. That's why my brain just changed it to Willie.
Steamboat Willie.
You're just Willie. So they get into that trapdoor. By the way, good police work here that you actually took time to figure out that there's a secret room in the basement and then find out that there is a trapdoor too. Because we have covered countless cases where that has been missed in the past. So kudos. The police found a very gruesome sight, and I'm going to give a trigger warning before we move forward, since this is a Gen Pop episode, as we like to say. By the way, somebody recently asked me, when we say general audience or Gen Pop, like a prison population, what we mean is our free
audience.
Our free listeners. Our listeners that listen once a week, then that we deliver our free content to, whereas our Patreons get all of the many extra bonus content that we release each week as well. So just so you guys know. Anyway, here the police are. Kevin was found under this trap door as a second basement in the basement. He was found in the room, naked and hanging from the ceiling. His throat was cut, and he had 2 stab wounds in his back neck area. His testicles had also been removed. So according to court documents, Mark Latunski admitted to police that he had killed Kevin Bacon. Well, yeah, I think it'd be pretty hard to say you hadn't at that point in time.
So he let them in the house.
Mm-hmm. Told him he's not Mark Latunski, though. Mark
Random-ass fake name. Mm-hmm. Steamboat Willie Volklakis.
Yes, Willie Vilkas.
And says, yeah, go ahead and check the house.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, do you want to explain the body in the basement?
So I truly think he had confidence that no one was going to find the secret room, and then they certainly weren't going to find the secret trap door in that room. I think that's why he cooperated, because he knows, think about it, he knows that he used a geosocial app to contact Kevin and that eventually they were going to come knocking. I think he just was
he was overconfident.
Yes, he was as confident about them not finding Kevin as he was about giving the fake name Wilk Olikos Vilkas. None of it makes any sense. You should. Whip out your phone while I carry on. So he admits, and he claimed that Kevin and Mark had agreed upon engaging in sexual relations, and that Kevin had been suffering from suicidal thoughts and wanted his body to just disappear. So then Mark Latunski admitted to dismembering Kevin by removing his testicles, trigger alert, and then later consuming them. So
I'm sorry, it sounded like what you said was...
It's what I said.
That he ate this young man's testicles.
He ate Kevin Bacon's testicles and admitted it. But the most fucked up part is that he's trying to claim that this is what Kevin wanted because of his suicidal thoughts, and that he wanted his body to disappear. Even if any of that was true, fairly certain eating his nether yayas was not actually what he was stating. If he was opening up to this man at all, which I don't believe that he was, it wasn't saying, you know what, I want my body to disappear by way of your digestive system. No.
I know that our judicial expert's not here.
Yes, she's lying on a beach right now.
Yeah, bitch. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing that...
We hate her this week.
I'm guessing she gets so mad when she's not here.
I know.
We talk shit about her.
I know.
I'm guessing that even if our victim put this in writing,
no,
there's still some sort of crime there.
Yes. Yes, he was not consenting to being murdered and eaten.
Yeah,
he
wasn't. Mutilated and consumed.
Even if he did, it's still a crime. No, he can. Yeah. No, you cannot. Oh my gosh, what's Kevorkian? The assisted suicide?
Yeah.
No, you can't do that. So Megan can continue to lay on the beach, because I can answer that one for you, my friend.
Yeah,
the answer is no.
People.
No. Also, you know what's fun? Because she's out of the country, she won't be able to listen to this until she's way back in the country. So we're safe for days. Another MLive article also quoted Mark Latunski as saying that with the phase of the moon, he would typically eat oysters, but he didn't have any oysters. So he decided that Kevin Bacon's testicles would just have to do. Or, sir, you could just not eat any oysters or testicles with the phases of the moon. The moon won't care.
You get some canned clams.
There's so many other options. How is testicles
Also,
the appropriate substitute?
I don't know where you would find oysters in Flint. The southwestern Flint area is not.
Well, it is certainly not a seafood accessible type
and
of.
It's actually
place.
it's similar to our neighborhood. Like it's kind of ruralish.
Yes, absolutely. And no, we cannot get good oysters here.
No.
We have to go on vacation to get those.
Gotta get the canned ones, and then your wife yells at you because it's gross.
And there's zero way that whatever recipe he was using called for a substitute of testicles.
And not to make any kind of light on the situation, but that is what they call animal testicles in dining. Like prairie oysters are known as buffalo testicles, etc. I believe sheep testicles are mountain oysters. Like when they serve them, like this is a thing.
Yes, it absolutely
but also
is, and I think that's
totally
why
legal because they're buffalo and sheep.
This is why he's trying to continue to justify his crazy actions.
I think he misunderstood the menu.
He's misunderstood a lot of things, like his own government name, for one. But Kevin's family and friends would later dispute the claims that Kevin was suicidal and wanted his body to disappear. And they said there was absolutely no way that he went there and agreed to die. And I will absolutely, the victim's family is completely right.
It's a safe bet.
Mark Latunski claimed that he first stabbed Kevin in the back of the neck. So, by the way, I just want to point out, if he's agreeing to dying, why do you got to go up from behind? Like he
knows it's coming.
Just a thought. Right, if he asked for this, you still have to stab him in the back and then slit his throat? Because that's what he says that he did. He then tied ropes to his ankles and hung him from the ceiling. Yes, Jason, like you would in a butcher shop. It's absolutely horrific. Now, the medical examiner was unable to determine the exact time of death, but it was within the time frame of December 24th to the morning of December 25th, and it's believed that Kevin was deceased before he was hung by the mechanical device, which, think about this, he had to, in this secret room, take the time to have an actual mechanical device to lift up his body. How many others has he done this to? We say that a lot on this podcast, and I don't have legal information to tell you that it has been looked into or that's what has happened, but this is an awful lot of pre-planning.
Well, even if he hasn't done it before, he's put a lot of thought and planning into what he did that night.
Yep. WNEM News reported that on December 25th, Mark Latunski spent part of the day with his estranged husband, Jamie Arnold. Jamie said that Mark Latunski came to his home between 1 and 2 p.m. He didn't act out of the ordinary or indicate in any way that something was wrong. The couple had separated in September 2019 because they had different lifestyles. Jamie Arnold was quoted saying, quote, "There were times I would come home and someone was there." He said, "One time I came and someone was there. He tried to get me involved. I made dinner and I went to bed. I had to get out. I couldn't take that lifestyle anymore," end quote. So it sounds like they had different ideas of what a committed relationship looks like and what, intimate relationship is like, and very appropriate to just go different ways that way. Mark Latunski had a long history of mental illness, according to the Detroit Free Press. You can see how I mixed both of those words together. And according to divorce filings by his ex-wife as well, Emily Latunski. So he's been married twice before. So once to Jamie Arnold and then once to his ex-wife, Emily. They were married in 2001 and then divorced in 2013 and had 4 children together. They, at that point in time, so when they divorced in 2013, Mark Latunski was diagnosed in 2010 and 2012 with severe, reoccurrent, and chronic major depression with psychotic features, adjustment disorder with depression and anxiety with paranoid schizophrenia and borderline personality traits. So, August 2019, Emily had actually filed a motion to suspend his parenting time. So, August 2019, there's enough of a spiral of his mental illness that his ex-wife Emily has filed to suspend parenting time. By September 2019, just, the next month, his husband, Mark's husband, Jamie, is then leaving the relationship. And so I think we're just continuing to see this downward spiral trajectory happen. And his condition can be treated with medication, but Mark had a history of not taking it, according to his ex-wife and her filings in court when she asked in August of 2019 to have the parenting time suspended. When he doesn't take his medication, he'll watch torture horror movies, talk to himself, stay out all night, threaten to get rid of his children's animals, claim that their son isn't his child. He won't shower, he won't shave, he won't clean. All of the typical signs that we see given his diagnosis. Excuse me. He has actually kidnapped his own children before by failing to follow custody plans. And yes, that is what that's called. If you do not return your child during the court-appointed, agreed-upon time, then it is considered parental kidnapping. And often he kept the children from leaving his home. He made frivolous claims to Child Protective Services and claimed that Emily and her brother were trying to murder him by poisoning his well. So these are all things that were in this suspension of the parenting time order to just show his paranoia. Remember, he's schizophrenic with paranoid tendencies, so that would all coincide with that. He would say that a neighbor was also contaminating the water, that his children were not his children, that his family was not his biological family, and that he was, his husband Arnold was a leader of this cult that he called the Gray Green-Eyed People, and that the world was going to turn upside down. Now, I'll give him this. This is September 2019, and buddy, you were right. The world was about to turn upside down, not because of gray, green-eyed people or because of your husband, Mr. Arnold, but just, a pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a pandemic and all kinds of shit.
So whether it was his mental health that deteriorated, escalated, both?
Deteriorated. He stopped taking his medication, so
but his entire
it was no longer treated.
His progressive life choices went from marrying a woman and having children to, we can speculate that they separated because his sexual preference changed.
Sure, possible.
And then he married a man, Arnold.
Yep.
And then his sexual explorations escalated
to an uncomfortable degree for Mr. Arnold.
So Mr. Arnold's like, I'm out.
Yeah.
So all these things combined were quite a roller coaster for Steamboat Willie.
Yes, I think that we're seeing the tragic end of Steamboat Willie without his medication, and it does get worse the longer that someone with his type of diagnosis goes unmedicated. It does. It escalates, and it gets much worse as we've come to know from poor Kevin here. So he was deemed mentally stable at the time of so Emily did in 2013, court documents do show that Emily did try to keep their 4 children away from Mark because of his mental instability. But at that time, he was deemed mentally stable. So they had this parental arrangement. And so from 2013 to 2019, when she was finally able to get that suspension of parental custody or parenting time, I think this was a long battle for her, as we've seen. And it's because it's not easy, you guys. The court has to be very careful before suspending any sort of parent, whether it's father or mother's parenting time. They have to make sure that they have all the proper, not only diagnosis, just him having a diagnosis like this does not make him not fit to care for his children. They have to get all of the evidence and show the way that his mental state has deteriorated with the speculation that he had stopped taking his medication. And that takes him having to, for lack of a better word, do crazy things. Yes, that is at the risk of children. And yes, a lot of times our society is much more reactive than preventative. It is. But the reason is because if it was just allowed without evidence, and then anyone who's just pissed off at their ex could try to keep their children away from them, and that is not in the children's best interest just because the other parent hates them. And Jason and I saw that time and time again in our previous work. So when I was doing research for this case, I can remember thinking, God, what a nightmare this had to have been for Emily. Knowing that her children were possibly unsafe, but then legally having to prove it as he continued to spiral. And finally in 2019, it was enough prior to the murders, but unfortunately then it just continued to spiral. When Latunski was arraigned on the charges in January of 2020, his lawyer informed the court that his client believed his name at this time was Edgar Thomas Hill from the Thomas clan of Wales. This is something that his parents believe was done just in an attempt to show an insanity plea. And I'm sorry, I need to be specific. Kevin's parents believe that the reason that this motion was made in court, that my client believes his name is Edgar Thomas Hill of the Thomas clan of Wales, was just to continue to get this insanity plea. So at the original time that we recorded this in 2021, this case was ongoing, and Mark Latunski remained in the Shiawassee County Jail awaiting trial. However, the trial happened. Let's see. I do want to say what the charges were. He was charged with open murder and mutilating a dead body. All right. And then he was ruled in February of that year that he was mentally competent to stand trial. He did get some treatment at the Michigan Center for Forensic Psychology in Ypsilanti. And so they did deem him mentally stable. That happened. Sorry, I had to scroll through some of my notes here that were things I'd already said. So apologies for that. He was deemed competent to stand trial in February of 2022. So he was initially arraigned in January 2020. Then they spent 2 years essentially doing all the psychologicals, trying to do the due diligence to make sure that is he competent, is he not, giving him treatment, giving him his medication. Once he was appropriately medicated, he was competent to stand trial. So that was established February 2022. And then by September of 2022, he decides to just plead guilty. And in December 2022, he was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. So I am happy to be able to bring a conclusion this time to this case, to know that Not only will Mark not be released, as he is not given the possibility for parole, but he also will remain medicated. I mean, essentially, I guess they can't force him to swallow the pills, but he'll at least have access to them.
So my question is that after they got him on his medications and then deemed him, once medicated, competent, was he before that?
Well,
so if
that's
he wasn't,
what...
I don't know if the defense could establish that he wasn't taking his medication. Could they then say unmedicated he would not be competent?
Could
that have stood as a
Sure.
defense with his?
But they spent 2 years going through that, and eventually the judge decided that he was competent to stand trial, that I don't know the specifics. It wasn't released of like exactly what was argued in court, but he never went to trial. He pled guilty. By September, they deemed him competent to go to trial in February.
But that was only after.
But then he pled guilty.
Him. I have a lot of follow-up questions.
But he pled guilty.
But only after being thoroughly medicated.
But he didn't plead guilty by reason of insanity, which could have been as an option if that's what they wanted to argue. But for whatever reason, could it possibly be that once he was actually medicated, he decided, I was responsible for this, and I don't know. But he ends up, once he found out that he was competent to stand trial, or was deemed that, whatever happened between February and September, he pled guilty, but not guilty by reason of insanity, and he was given the sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I agree with the sentencing. I'm just not
Yes.
sure that the defense did as good a job as they could have.
Yeah, I don't know. I would like to believe that if I were a defense attorney in that situation, I know you've got a job to do, but this was horrific.
Oh, yeah.
He ate a man's testicles.
No, absolutely. Like, he should not walk amongst us, but I have questioned.
Some days I wonder if I'm really competent to
Right.
walk amongst us.
No, I question some of the, like I said, I don't question it. I just have questions about it. I guess phrase that differently. Like, I'm not upset with the outcome. I just have questions how they got to that without, there's missing parts that I would like to know about that we don't necessarily have the answers to.
Right. And without having the court transcripts or, in this particular case or knowing, but even still, I think the danger here is that he's clearly been deemed dangerous when he's not medicated.
Right.
So allowing him to be free
Absolutely.
means that he has his free will to not become medicated, in which case he is dangerous. So it's just like being drunk. You can't be drunk and use that as an excuse. I mean, your insanity plea, could you do? Sure. They tried it, but it just
being
didn't work.
unmedicated as a defense?
I don't.
If our lazy-ass friend wasn't on the beach, we might have answers
right.
for you people.
Maybe if our professional vacationer here in the friend, she'll let us know. She will let us know. Text her right now and ask her while I give us a brain bath. Just tell her. Say, hey, you tell us. Is not being medicated a mitigating factor here? Because I don't know. But I do have a funny brain bath for us. You guys are going to love this one. I had to pause a second and look down at my phone. This is from NBC News. American student ends up trapped in giant vagina sculpture. Now, Jason,
that's not tragic.
I didn't say it was tragic. No one said it was tragic.
That's a borderline planned event for a Friday night.
I was just going to say, Jason, if there was ever one place that you would want to be trapped.
If there was a...
Here's the picture.
See... Is it supposed to? It's not intentional. It's not an intentional vagina.
Well, oh no. When you open up the actual picture, when you open up the actual picture,
Are there legs?
It's a vagina. It's a big sculpture of a beautiful vagina.
Are there legs?
Very detailed.
Show me again.
You're going to need a moment here.
So he got stuck in it. Why was he trying to... First of all, why was he trying to get in it? And why was he trying to go in legs first?
No. I think he came through the other side, my friend. He was trying to be reborn.
All right, see,
that's what it is.
That makes so much more sense.
Yeah, look at that. There you go, guys. Can you see him? Yeah, he was trying to be reborn. Let me read you the article. Again, this is from NBC News. Mainz, Germany. Of course, it was an American in a foreign country getting stuck
way to make
vagina.
us look good.
Oh, trust me, nothing is making America look good right now. Call it a stimulating study abroad experience, but an American exchange student sparked an extraordinary rescue mission when his leg became trapped inside a giant vagina sculpture. It was a dare, the fire department squad leader, Marcus Moser, told NBC News. The young man had tried to pose for an unusual photo and climbed into the artwork. This is astounding. A total of 22 rescue workers with special equipment were deployed to the scene. It didn't take 22. Everyone on the CB was like, you've got to come see this.
We're all going.
This American got stuck in the vagina sculpture. But anyway, so they said they were deployed to the scene in the southern Germany city of, Tübingen? Sure. I'm sure I said that correctly.
We'll get calls.
Please don't at me. I don't care that I just pronounced that wrong in Germany. Tübingen. Whatever.
Sure. Close enough.
Yeah, on Friday to free the 20-year-old. By the way, this wasn't that long ago, actually, when this happened. I want to tell you. I'm lying. It just wasn't long ago. Someone sent it to me. It was from 2014. So this dude has moved on, been married, and probably told his kids about this by now.
I ever tell you about the time where I got my legs stuck in a big vagina?
That I got dared? Remember, it was a dare. He says. That's what I would tell them, too.
I've done a lot of dumb shit on dares.
But that, if you got stuck there, and like, what if the city sends him a bill for the time that the rescue workers sent? Because that's a real thing sometimes. I would say the same thing. I was dared. But anyway.
I don't think that's a defense either.
No.
I'm guessing that's not a defense.
He would still have to pay the fine.
He double dog dared me.
Double dog dared me. Oh shit. So they said that the 20-year it took 22 rescue workers with special equipment. They were deployed to the scene to free the 20-year-old, but a forceps delivery was not necessary. The local newspaper noted. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that local newspaper. First of all, it's...
Far from puking?
It's got to be like... Okay, I'm going to try it. Schwäbisches. Yeah, whatever. Oh, Tagblatt. Schwäbisches Tagblatt. I'm hurting
Germany?
Myself. This is hurting. And the name is almost as long as an entire sentence, you guys. It hurts. I don't know how anybody does this. They said, quote, "We were able to pull the victim out." Is he a victim? Is he? "We were able to pull the victim out with our bare hands after about 30 minutes. I mean, that is better than some gynecologist situation.
No shots, no meds.
Nope.
Straight natural birth.
The 6-foot replica of female genitalia was installed 13 years ago outside the microbiology and virology department of the city's university clinic. It's worth nearly $200,000. And all I have to say is, why are the rest of our vaginas not worth nearly that?
You eventually pay about that much in the end.
Yeah, maybe. But I bet nobody's ever got stuck in one. Not leg first, like this guy.
Megan responded in live time.
Okay.
If you are prescribed medications and you choose not to take them, and due to your mental health, you commit a crime. That is, being unmedicated is not a defense.
There we go. We have our answers in real time and from the Dominican Republic, even.
Worldwide.
Crime curious. Worldwide.
We are everywhere.
Yeah. We really have been lately. We've been kicking up our social media presence. By the way, if you don't follow us on social media, you should. We posted our new outro that we are putting on. We created a song and a music video to go along with it, but we posted the video for people who are not our video Patreons to see on our Instagram. I think we're crime.curious there, or curious.crime, something like that. I think Crime Curious was stolen, so I had to do. I'm not great with the social media, you guys. It's curious.crime on Instagram, but on Facebook it's Crime Curious. And so, yeah, follow us there, comment. Did you know when you follow your content creators, if you like their video or comment on it, that is significantly helping them. So even if you can't be a Patreon, but you still are like, hey, those people are pretty all right, make sure that you like and comment on our stuff. That helps us too, and we sincerely appreciate it. And 9 times out of 10, we're able to respond if you ask us a question or, make a sweet comment, something like that. If someone's a dick, I'm probably not gonna. I'm probably just gonna leave that energy alone and not say anything. And
if you're a dick, you better hope I don't get to it first.
Yeah, as the producer here, I hope that you don't get to it first. Anyway, thank you all so much for listening to us week after week and keeping us on air. And we hope that you keep it curious.
And keep listening.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Nailed it even without our third person.
Who needs her?
I do. We do. We need her. We need her.
I don't want to have to text you in the middle of a show.
Yeah, seriously. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, used to chase the tears in a different kind of grind, helping little ones leaving our old selves behind. Chanel, Jason, Megan, a trio strong and true, but the system wore us out, needed something fresh and new. So we flipped the script, found the mic and the beat. From deep investigations to stories bittersweet. Prosecutor, the judge, that's Megan on the mic. Chanel digs the dirt, makes sure the facts are right. Crime Curious, yeah, that's the name we claim. Shaking our grief, fanning the curious flame. From global listeners to the brain bag we provide. Keep it curious, keep listening with nowhere to hide. Jason's got the wisdom and the jokes to make us smile. Keeps the energy flowing for every single mile. We dive into the dark where the mysteries reside, unraveling the truth with nowhere left to hide. Laws and evidence, Megan lays it down with grace, while Chanel's deep research sets the compelling pace. Crime Curious, yeah, that's the name we claim. Shaking our grief, fanning the curious flame. From global listeners to the brain bag we provide. Keep it curious, keep listening with nowhere to hide. Don't ask about the raccoon, some secrets we just keep. But every week we're digging secrets buried deep. For every mind that wonders, for every soul that seeks, we're here to break it down in our Crime Curious Speaks.